Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to, I think it's episode 6 of the Common Fiber podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Stevens. It's been 2 weeks. I did not film last week. Today is Monday, February 15th. It is President's Day, and it is a beautiful snowy day today. Actually, after I get done podcasting, the kids and I are going to go to a friend's house, and I plan to sit and knit, and the kids are going to go sledding. They're very excited about this. You can see the steam coming off of my tea this morning. Look at that. I should tell you, I am drinking, I even brought it, this David's tea. It's the birthday cake flavor. It's honestly like my favorite flavor. I put sugar and a little cream in there, and it's like so good. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna swivel my camera around. Look at all of that snow. We have probably a good 2 inches right now. I think there's only one day this week. You're gonna hear my husband laughing. He's watching comedy shows downstairs. I think we're only gonna have one day this week that it's not snowing, which is just so crazy to me. Sorry, my nose is running. I don't have a tissue here. I feel like I'm just rambling. Yeah, so a lot has happened. If you can hear that, sorry. A lot has happened the last 2 weeks. So much. I was going to have a friend of mine podcast with me last week. That did not happen. They ended up getting COVID. So they were just not feeling up to even, I have like fuzz all over me. Anyways, they were not even feeling up to just doing a Zoom podcast at all. I mean, that's how we were going to do it anyways, but they just did not even feel up to that. So, and actually 2 of their 5 members in their house ended up getting it, but the other 3 did not. So, oops. I just shook the table. I need to stop touching the table. Anyways. So, yeah, a lot happened since I last filmed. The Super Bowl happened. I know some people are super excited about the outcome. We were rooting for Kansas City, but that's okay. Maybe next time. My brothers, however, who live in Florida, were totally rooting for Florida to win. So, you know, somebody was having fun. Let's see. We did, I'm not even going to go into that. It'll make me cry. So, I'm not even going to, my daughter lost a friend last weekend to violence. So, he was 15. He's at a birthday party. And somebody pulled up and they shot him. So he did not make it. God, you guys. So, that happened. It was pretty rough. So the Super Bowl, and then obviously, 3-day weekend. We were all pretty excited about that. End of semester for my kiddos. So tomorrow, when they start school again, they will start a new semester. So they're excited. It makes me a little sad, I'm not gonna lie, because my oldest is a senior this year, so that just means that it's the last semester of high school for her. And that makes me cry. I feel like everything's making me cry lately. Oh my god, that's the cat. We have newspapers out right now because, oh my god, I'm gonna have to move it. I feel like I'm gonna have to get up and move them because that noise is probably gonna drive you guys crazy. But we have newspapers out because we had chopped some kindling to start a fire last night, which we did not do. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day yesterday to everybody. That happened too. But we ended up not making a fire. We ended up just going to bed early, you know, big partiers that we are. And I just left it all out. And she is having a heyday. The kitten is. Not Sam. He's my old orange tabby. Anyways, I guess we should get started. I've just been rambling for the last 5-6 minutes. I don't have a whole lot to show you guys today. I mean, I feel like I have a lot, but I don't have as much as maybe I wanted to. I really didn't knit at all this week. For obvious reasons. We've just been laying low. And I did get more organizing done. We completely pulled everything out of my fridge, bleached everything. And we got new organizing containers. Oh my gosh. Organizing containers for our fridge. And so everything has a home now. And it's incredible. We also did a complete overhaul on our pantry, which makes me so happy. Everything also has a home in there. So yeah, I feel like my week was productive, just not crafting wise. It was productive as far as getting my home organized. And I love that. So, okay. Let's start off, I guess. I do have an FO to show you. I have some whips. I have one cast on for a test knit that I'm doing. It's a hat. It's due next Tuesday. I've procrastinated so badly. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Which is exciting. That's something that you can look forward to, and it's beautiful. And then, yeah, I have some blanket progress. So quite a bit. Okay. So let's start off with my FO. I did finish these socks. Got these guys done. Isn't it so funny how one sock is just has so much more color than the other sock? It's just the one half of the skein must have just gotten more dye or something, which happens, you know, which is a good prime example of why even, you know, what the consistency in one skein is so different, and why you should definitely always alternate skeins. So it's beautiful. I knit these cuff down with a 2.0 millimeter needle. My Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs. And I did 20 rounds for the cuff. I did 50 for the leg, my regular heel. Did I do 50 for the leg? No, I did 60 for the leg and 50 for the foot. That's what I did. So 60 for the leg, regular heel, and then 50 for the foot, and then a regular toe decrease. This was knit out of Unwind Yarn Company from Dana, and in an unknown colorway name. And it was on her 80/20 base. It's so squishy and lofty and just, I don't know, they just have so much squish to it that when I hit 50, I was like, I think that foot is going to be huge. And it really would have been huge. This fits my foot comfortably. So I'm happy with these. I don't know if you guys can hear him. I'm happy with these though. I think they turned out great. So these are gonna go in my sock drawer. I have this dresser downstairs in the hallway, and it has like a lot of my homemade quilts, and I keep my sweaters in there because it is a cedar. It has like a cedar planks in it to keep moths and bugs away. I also have, I don't know if anybody else does this, but growing up, my grandma always told me to put a bar of soap in your drawers. And one, not only is it going to help make your clothes smell good, but it makes sure that bugs don't like it. So I do have soap in each of my drawers. So all of my knits smell so good. They don't smell dusty or gross. After they've been in there for a little bit, it's quite pleasant to pull them out. So anyways, I have this whole top long drawer, and that is where I've been like slowly stacking my socks. I think this is pair number 5 of the year. I feel like it's pair number 5. It might be pair number 6. I should keep track, I guess. But I have not yet actually sat down and kept track of it. So I got that done. Then after that, I went ahead and cast onto a new pair of socks. This was one of the skeins I wound on New Year's Eve. I love this colorway. It reminds me, it's so funny. I typically keep the tags inside. I took it out, so I can't even tell you. I can't show you. It is a 75-25 blend, and before I started it, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, it reminds me of 2 things. It reminds me of saltwater taffy or those conversation hearts, and I thought that would be a perfect pair of socks to cast on, in hopes to have them done by Valentine's Day. Clearly that did not happen, but that's okay. But this is by, I want to say, that this is by Lolo, but I think that's wrong. It's gorgeous though, but the colorway is called Taffy. It's this thin label. I remember it I should just get up and go get it, but I'm not going to. It's a thin label. If you have this colorway, feel free to comment and say, oh my gosh, I know exactly what that is. The colorway is Taffy though. I thought that was like perfectly fitting. Okay, I have gotten this far on this sock. There is not another sock done. I'm gonna work on this today, like when I go I should not be working on this today. I should be working on this test knit. And I'll show you the colorways that I picked, but I'm not going to be working. I'm going to work on this. So I think it's beautiful. I think that it's just gorgeous. And that is pretty much true to color. Like, the lighting right now is great. There's so much background noise in this podcast. I'm not even going to start over, though. So I apologize. And it's their cats. It's not like it's not like it's a dog that I can tell them to knock it off. They're cats. They don't listen. So 20 rounds for the cuff. I did do 60 for the leg. I'm going to go ahead and do 60 for the foot because this is the 75-25 blend. And you guys, I have learned something about me with this last pair of socks. So years and years and years, I hated these. I hated the 75-25. I would gravitate to the 80-20 sock yarn. I loved the texture. I loved knitting with it. It was like my favorite go-to. So I bought most of my yarn actually in my stash is that 80-20 blend, but those socks hurt my hands to knit. I didn't enjoy it at all. Like, I wanted to enjoy it, especially with the sentimental reasons behind knitting that and everything, but I did not enjoy it. And I don't know if it was just maybe I wasn't ready emotionally, since that was yarn that my mom bought for me at a yarn festival in Tennessee. But I love knitting this 75-25 so much more. It seems to just fly off my needles. It's this perfect round yarn. I love it. So I'm a little disappointed in my stash, I guess is what I'm getting at, because most of it is not the 75-25. Most of it is that 80-20, and I'm finding I don't love it as much. So that's kind of a bummer, but I am knitting these with my Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs. I'm just working my way through the gusset right now. I'm not sure how many more I have left to go, like how many more rounds before I'm just knitting around and around again without decreases, but I'm enjoying these. So I'm gonna bring these with me so I can hang out and knit for a bit while the kids sled. That makes me happy. Okay, let's talk about my sweater that's still not done. It's okay. I'm getting there. This should be done by now, but you know, life. I don't know. This would be the perfect thing to wear today, actually. It would be so warm and cozy, but it's not done. So this is the Felix pullover. I think it's by Amy Christoffers. Just forgot about that for a second. Anyways, I'm in love with it. I'm knitting it out of Lopi. It is not a soft wool at all. It's super scratchy, but it's going to be super warm. I love how like classic, I guess is the right word for it, that it looks. I am working my way through the sleeve. So I just have like half of one sleeve to go, and then I have one more sleeve. Try it on for you so you can kind of see. what it is. So I've got almost a whole sleeve done. And actually, I'm not gonna do like super long sleeves. It calls for me to do like, I think 6 more decreases. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna just probably do 2 more decreases and then do a longer cuff. So that way it doesn't go all the way down. But I'm loving this. It falls right where I wanted it to. I think it's gonna be perfect. I'm wearing it over my dress right now. Like, I can still put my hands in my pockets. I love it. So this is amazing. Like, I think I'm gonna live in this sweater when I get it all the way done. Like, and it's so funny because it's so not like, it's a scratchy wool, but it's not bothering me to have it on. Like, not even in the least amount. I think it's because my dress goes up high and it has a little bit of a sleeve on it, and so that's normally where things itch me. I can see that it might bother me after a bit around the neck, just a little bit, but no, I don't. It's not too bad. So take that off. As long as my bracelets and stuff doesn't get stuck in it. So yeah, I should just try and get this done this week. It's supposed to be like snowy all week, and this would be great to have. So maybe I should make that a priority. Maybe I should make that a priority. I'm not knitting it on the right size needles either. I should say that. I think it calls for a US 10 or 11 or something. I'm knitting it on a 9. So I wish I had the pattern here so I could show you about it, but I don't. That's okay. Okay. So that guy, I really am wishing that was done now. I would want to wear that. I would want to wear that today. Especially now that I just tried it on. That's the first time I've tried it on. So maybe that needs to come with me. I don't know. Okay. Next thing that I'm working on, literally just casted it on, is this test knit. I'm not going to show it to you, but it's by Tiff Nealon. I have recently just found her, and I feel like I've been living under a rock because her patterns and her designs are so awesome. Most of them are incredibly classic things that you'll find yourself gravitating towards wearing all the time, I think. And so I'm doing this test knit for her, for a hat. I printed this pattern out on the 5th. She's given us ample time to get it done. I just have not done it. But I did get it cast on today. I pulled out my yarn today. She had asked if we only use no more than 1 speckle yarn and the rest be like tonal semi-solids. And so I pulled out a combo that I think will work well together. I do think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. I guess if I don't like it, then it's just a test knit. And so it'll be fine, you know? So, oh, this is my little teapot. Somebody asked me about this. I got this on Amazon. It was super cheap too, like under $30 cheap. I love it. And then I have a glass stand for it that you put a little tea light in, and it keeps it hot. So I love it. I did not get the glass stand though from Amazon. It actually came with an old glass teapot that I had that broke from those Bloom teas. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's like a green tea and it comes in a little ball and you put it in the teapot. So you don't use the diffuser, but you put it in your teapot and you pour the hot water directly on it. And as it steeps, it opens up and it is this beautiful flower. And like each one is a different flavor, and I love those. So I got it all as a set a couple Mother's Days ago, and then just this summer the teapot broke. Like one of the kids like bumped it, and the spout hit against the wall, and so it cracked and I had to replace it. So this teapot just came from Amazon. It's not quite as big as the other one that I had, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it holds enough for, one sitting, I guess, of tea. I typically don't drink more than one of these pots of teas anyways. But, okay, so here's my colors. This is how far I've cast on. Literally just cast it on. But this is the colors that I picked. I think they'll be pretty. They are all scraps. It uses barely any yarn. I think it's allowed for me to tell you like how much. Yeah, like the main color, if you're doing the largest size, is 95 yards. And then contrasting color 1, so this is going to be my main color. This is going to be contrasting 2, I think. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to have this be contrasting 1. And this, for the biggest size, uses 60 yards. And then this one is contrasting color 2 and it uses 48 yards. So super great project that's going to be using up my scraps. It does use 3 different needle sizes, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. I thought that was very interesting. I've never knit a hat that had 3 different needle sizes before. Oh, the yarn. This is some worsted weight yarn that I dyed myself. And so is this. I actually made a sweater when Caitlin was teeny tiny out of this. I designed this raglan, and it had like linen stitch on the front and the back, and then the sleeves were plain knit, and then it only did linen stitch through the increases of the yoke, and then it was stockinette the rest of the way down. I never wrote it up. And then this is some Malabrigo Rios. So I gotta have that done. Pictures taken, Ravelry page, and a post on Instagram by next Tuesday. Why do I wait so long? Oh well. Anyways. Okay. The last knitting thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the sweater that I plan on casting on as soon as I'm done with my Felix pullover. I'm so excited about this. Each week I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cast it on, and I've decided I'm not casting this guy on at all until I get my Felix done, because I don't want to have another sweater on the needles competing with each other. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me to do that. I've been really, really good about trying to keep only 2 knitting projects going at the same time, and it's been my sweater and my socks. Clearly I'm breaking my rule just a little bit, my own personal rule for this year, and I'm working on that test knit, so but I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's totally okay. But anyways, okay, get sidetracked today. This is the sweater that I am gonna be casting on. It's the Coastal Crop Raglan. You can find this pattern on Ravelry, and this is a Tiff Nealon pattern as well. So I'm super excited to get this going. Okay, I'm using, got my basket here. Do you guys do this too? I keep like everything in my basket by my chair, and then I just grab from it. Like these I take to work with me, but everything else just kind of lives in the basket. All the supplies I need are in there, all the extra skeins of yarn, and I have multiple things in there, like my crochet blanket and my Felix, and then all the yarn for my Felix, and then my next sweater project yarn is in there too. But I'm using this, it's Blacker Yarns, and I've never used this yarn before. This is the Lyonese, and it's in the Ruby colorway, and it's 50% Falkland wool and 50% linen. I think it's gonna be amazing. Linen is one of those fibers that it's not so pleasant to work with right out of the gate, but after you wash it, it has the most amazing drape ever, and so I just am so excited about that. And then the fact that it's 50% linen and then 50% Falklands wool, I know it's gonna maintain its structure really, really well. And this is such a true representation of the colorway. So each skein, it is a worsted spun yarn, but each skein is 119 yards, and I think I bought like 6 of these, which I will have more than enough to do this with. Let's see, I must have bought more than 6. I think I did. I'm not gonna count. You guys don't care how much I bought. I bought enough to do like not the biggest size, but one of the biggest sizes. So, and it does have anywhere from 2 to 7 inches of positive ease, which I think is amazing. It's going to be so comfortable. So this is getting cast on as soon as that pullover is done, and hopefully that is sooner rather than later. Because like I said, I really want to wear that Felix pullover so badly. Okay, so the last crafty thing that I want to talk to you guys about is my blanket. It has grown so much. God, I am loving this. It's so funny. Like, I set out to not do any more scrappy projects, and I was just like ready to be done with scrappy projects, and then I realized how much I love scrappy projects when I got this going. And I think it's just because, you know, there's a season for everybody. Like, you just, I don't know, there's always a season for everything, right? So I don't remember where I was when I showed you last. I feel like I just finished the Charlie colorway. But, oh, here we go. I'm losing my, one thing about crochet that is really awesome is that it's so forgiving. Okay, so here we go. Look at this. I love it so much. I'm pretty sure that the last time that I worked on this, I had just finished the Charlie colorway. And so let's see, I did, it looks like some Madeline Tosh sock. It's right here. It was this dusty, beautiful color that I had gotten to do this shawl with like years and years and years ago. And I never knit the shawl. I did make some mittens out of it. It's a obviously it's fingering weight. So I did that. And then the next would be this color here. And this is like a merino and tencel blend. It's actually from Three Irish Girls. I used to be part of their club years and years ago when Sharon owned it, and I would do the monthly club, and I would literally get a skein from every single club preview. It was ridiculous. It was so bad. So I did knit a hat for myself out of this. Then I did the rest of that yarn from here. I used up every little bit of it. And then I put, it looks like I got through almost 2 rounds of this yarn I dyed when I was dyeing yarn with Lydia with the loops, and it was After the Rainbow. No, After the Storm, that's what it was. After the Storm colorway. And I knit a pair of socks out of that, and I had a little bit left, so I'm working on that. So now I'm on this skein, and you can barely see, but there are these just ever so subtle, tiny little speckles. And this was another colorway that I dyed. I'm pretty sure I knit socks out of this too. So I've just been working on that, and that has been so comforting and so fun, especially at night when it's cold. It's perfect. I need to I'm gonna have to splice those two together. I had to text my dad back because he was like, I'm coming over. He's like, I'm podcasting. And I knew if I didn't text him back, then he would just come over, and then the kids and I have plans. Anyways, you don't need to hear about all of that. But so anyways, I plan to get done with that. Just going through each little skein, little bit has been so fun. I love how the colors are changing in it so much. It's just so fun. So anyways, that's one of those projects. I don't know how big it'll get. I don't know how long I'm gonna work on it till before I call it good. You know, it's one of those ones that doesn't really need a quitting time. So, but the hexagon shape has got me thinking a lot about new projects. And so I, years ago, started English paper piecing quilt. And I only gotten as far as making these little hexagons. I made about 30 of them. And then it just got tucked away like everything tends to do. And I have decided to pull that guy back out and start working on it. I forgot to add it to my basket to show you guys, but I plan on getting that going again, which I'm really excited about. It'll be a fun little extra thing, and I'm not gonna have any rhyme or reason. Like some people do it and they make these pretty designs and these flowers, and I'm just going to add one on and just go with it. I think that'll be the best way for me. kind of like a scrappy something, and when I get new fabrics, I'll just add those into the mix, and it'll just be a continuing project. So that's kind of my plan. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is a book that I just started reading. I did post about it on Instagram, and some of you guys had said, oh my gosh, it is a fantastic book. And you guys, it has been in my bookshelf forever. But I am reading Molokai. This book so far is incredible. I do plan, as soon as I get done with it, to kind of give you a little bit of a review on it. I love when books do this. There is a little section in the very back where you can get to know the author, get to know the history, of the book, where it takes place. And then it also has some reading group questions. There's 14 of them. And I was thinking it would be so much fun if, when I'm done with this, if you've read this book, if you would want to join with me on discussing some of these group questions, maybe over on the Ravelry group, we can post them and talk about them a little bit. I just think that would be really, really fun. I've missed having a book club to be part of. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be part of one years and years ago, and that one was so much fun, and we would get together at each other's houses. We'd have a theme, and it was so much fun. And then it just kind of dwindled off because it got to be a lot of work. You know, and people just got busy, and then I joined a virtual book club, and it was more about history. We would talk about just a lot of historical books, modern day ones, but it was all history based. And so that was fun, and I really enjoyed that too. But I missed, I don't know, we only did it via Zoom, and it was great, but I missed that like personal connection that came with going to each other's houses for book clubs. So, and that was pre-COVID. Now, you know, current COVID times, it's not something that we can do. And so I'm struggling personally with it. Like, do I want to try and start or join a virtual one? Will I enjoy it as much as I did in person? I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy it as much. So I don't know. This, I feel like just discussing it, like at least in the Ravelry group, at least you know, it's better, I think, than nothing. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like that's kind of all that I had to talk to you guys about today. I hope you guys have a really great rest of your week. I have so much packed into this week. We've got doctor appointments and hair appointments. Oh, my son got glasses. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He got his very first pair of glasses. That happened since we filmed too. We actually did that yesterday. No, Saturday. Saturday was his first He got his glasses, and it was like 5 o'clock at night by the time I got to pick them up. And he loves them so much. And we didn't realize how awful his eyes were. I feel so bad. Yeah, so we've got hair appointments and doctor appointments, and my daughter finally gets to cheer again. No spectators, like none of us will get to see her do that, but she's thrilled. She's loving it. They got to practice for the first time in over a year last week, twice. So that was one of our biggest boo-hoo moments as parents, right? We're like, we didn't even get to see her cheer her senior year. And we still won't get to see her, but at least she gets to do it. So it is what it is. It could be worse, right? Okay. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I do plan to film this coming Sunday. I'm not going to skip out. Maybe I'll have something done to show you. How amazing would that be? I think that would be pretty awesome. Well, I mean, I will have to have one thing. I don't know if I can show it to you, though. I might have to wait on that. I'll confirm. But maybe I'll have something else done. That's a tall order at the moment, but... Oh, do you guys see my little dolls over here from me moving everything around? My mom and her sister, years and years ago, I love these little dolls. Those little sister dolls right there. Her and her sister went into business together, and they made those little dolls. They made dolls. They made me one when I was little. Something happened to it, which makes me so sad. But I love those little dolls. They are, I think they're called sock dolls. But it's kind of a fun reminder of my mom. I brought them home from Tennessee when I was there. And so they sit here. We're in my dining room right now. And they sit just right there all the time. And I love it. Okay, I'm done rambling now. I'm gonna go get my kids ready, and we're gonna go sledding and enjoy this amazing snowy day. And I hope you guys have a great, full, fun-filled week ahead of you planned, and I will chat with you guys next week. Bye, you guys.